Ta-da! And welcome to Josef's Model Railway and Toy Room. And in today's video, it's a quick one about installing this particular canal that we've done for the main feature section of the layout. Yes, indeed, I haven't got time for the tripod today, so you'll just have to enjoy what I come up with. Again, you don't need to subscribe, like, or follow any of these videos. We're all here just having some quality good fun. So it'll be a nice sort of simple, basically a cut we'll take with a jigsaw, I imagine. Cut it in this kind of fashion here and sort of angle it back. And what we'll probably use is a series of stormwater pipes that'll be poking out from what would be this back section of the return line that'll be covered up for the most part, that makes it look like it's sort of flowing and coming down. So we're going to have to correct our cork and track work up, so we'll get a list brought into place. Then we're going to make our key measurements out on the board at the other end, so I know exactly where the entry and exit lines are coming in from that corner. And then we'll cut the board up and get it back into place and continue on laying. And here we are now in the shed. So what we've done is we took the board out from the house and we've made the necessary measurements, and we've just taken the jigsaw and made those cuts. As you can see, obviously we're going to have our two train lines passing over here, and then the stormwater will be coming into this, as we'll call it, a canal section. Like I did before, even though this is just our standard plywood here, I did just give it a bit of a sand and a lick of white paint, just so it's a nice neutral platform for us to put our scenery onto. And the whole idea is that this is sort of going to come in about here. It gives us a nice sort of a depth, because I was noodling with something a little bit thinner. I said, no, I want a bit of depth in this. The idea of having a ladder that comes down, and a bit of a seaside look there. The other thing is, we obviously just took a little bit here, which I've cut. It's a little bit rough, but as you can see, it would sit in here, and the purpose of that is, oopsie daisy, is that will give us this wonderful sort of appearance when that epoxy's been poured. So the next step, what we're going to do now, is just mark out exactly where all this is going to sit, and then we're going to glue what would be this top part, although it's actually the bottom, and then we're going to put our base down, weight it down with something, and then leave it to dry. Okay, well, we've had some time that's passed, so it should be dry. So as a result, perfect. And here we have what will be the canal section. Now, the question you're all going to be asking yourselves is, why didn't he glue it down to the board straight away? Well, you see I've left the lines for it where it's going to sit again. And of course, thanks to a few little drips of glue that act as a bit of a guide, the reason why is now we can take this section, and we'll just take any type of a gap filler that's suitable for timber and what have you. And we're just going to run a bit of a bead around the edge that gives us a bit more of a seal. Even though we've got the glue that's peeked through there and it'd be quite sealed, we'll just seal it. That way when the epoxy gets poured in, it definitely can't run anywhere, and it's certainly unlikely to go any higher than this. Remember, this is where the red end of the cabinet will be butted up against to it. And here we go. So you can see we've got a nice bit of a seam across the bottom. Nothing's going to be leaking out of that anytime soon. And again, we'll just create just a little bit of terrain, so to speak, where the storm water would be coming down, dripping down, and just making its way down into this small section. So now we'll let that cure a bit, and then we'll flip it up, glue it back onto our board. We'll put a couple of 90-degree angles in it just to secure it, and then we can drop it back into place. Also, while the board was out, I took a moment to just finish up and get some more holes pre-drilled around the baseboard to allow for the additional track feeds, point feeds, signals, and all the other excitement we can expect. And if we just slide underneath this cabinet work under the baseboard, you'll see it sitting neatly under here. Again, the screws, as discussed, just as a bracket. I mean, that is absolutely rock solid. There is no way anything's going to happen or come undone. But it's just a nice little mechanism, I think, that's worth just investing in, just for absolute peace of mind in my head. But it's all smooth. And a special thanks to AY76 on his YouTube channel. He has actually put a canal in that's given me great inspiration. And also, if you pay attention to the walls and the actual drain kits used, they are all available from scalemodelscenery.co.uk. They also have a range of other quality products. I also picked up a few other little bits and bobs that we'll be using around the rest of the layout. Well, you can see now a series of thumbtacks marking out where that cork needs to sit, but here it is, all finished. And I think it's turned out quite snazzy, to tell you the truth. Cleaned it up right here, where we've got this little join here for where it's going to be. And as you can see, I can still move the board up and down smoothly should I ever need to remove it. And I've also ordered the kit that's required now for the storm water that's going to flow down, and maybe an additional pipe coming through here. And I've also got the order in for where we're going to be laying the wall that we need to do for the edging of this. Well, that now concludes it for this video. I'm very happy with how this has turned up, and now we're going to start getting this cork laid down to create our feature section. Stick around for the next video, which will be coming up shortly, because if you just follow me around the corner, you can see we're now going to be getting some points wired up to work with signals, as we've just finally had our deliveries of lovely signals that have started arriving now. So stick around for seeing that one in the upcoming video. We've got lots of fun and games to be had as always. Stay safe. Toodles!